Miguel, would you get off the phone and come help us, please?
Yeah, that was great.
Miguel, come on. We can't understand why you did it this way.
Listen, I gotta get off the phone. Yeah, I gotta help them with the program. Yeah, they've been here for the past hour or so. Yeah. Well, it's my program. I gotta help them. Okay, take care. Bye.
Miguelito, me voy a dar una ducha, ¿ok?
Okay, abuelita.
Something wrong with your grandmother?
She's just gonna take a shower. She loves to announce it.
See, it crashes when it gets to here. Here, just trace it. Okay. T-R-A-C-E. Okay, now run it. What are all the numbers? Well, those are the basic lines. It crashed again. See, that's the line number. Okay, list line 2000. I'll try it again. Aha, there it is. We typed in the wrong dimension. Miguel, would you come help us, please? What are you doing?
There's a small leak in this pipe.
Leave it alone and get a bucket. Call a plumber.
It's just a little leak. Come on, it's nothing. Just needs a little tightening of this joint right here.
Call a plumber. Get a bucket.
Miguelito, ¿qué le pasa al agua?
Nada, abuelita. Nothing.
Miguel!
What?
You're soaking wet!
Yeah, this water has a tremendous amount of pressure.
Miguel, ¿qué le pasa al agua?
Nada! And my grandmother just noticed that the water pressure's dropped. I mean, when you think about it, how the water gets here from all those places, from hundreds of miles away, it boggles the mind, really.
Miguel.
What?
You're all wet.
Where does New York get its water? An aqueduct uses the force of gravity to bring water from nearby hills. Where do the hills get this water? From clouds, that's where. A drop of water falls into a lake. That raindrop has just entered the New York water system. Water is collected in a number of mountain reservoirs. The energy for the entire system is supplied mainly by gravity. It is the force of gravity that carries the water long distances and delivers it to New York City. The action of the water as it rushes downhill helps to put oxygen into it and preserves its good quality. New York uses 1,300,000,000 gallons of water each day. Here, the water goes underground. Two large underground tunnels carry the water into the city, and a third tunnel is under construction. The tunnels wind throughout the city like streets. When it arrives in New York, there's still enough pressure to lift the water to the 6th floor of a building. In taller buildings, the water is helped up with a little pumping. This pump pushes water into a network of smaller pipes. Sometimes the water is pumped up to a tank up on the roof. And again, gravity is used to feed water to individual floors on the way down. From a mountain lake to a New York fountain is a long trip for a raindrop, but it's mainly gravity that carries it all the way.
Hey, Kathy, is it off yet?
No, you gotta close it more.
Okay.
Well, my grandmother's out of the shower now. Robin, shut off the main.
She's working on it. Hey, you got it, you got it!
I read somewhere that thousands of gallons of water are lost each day because of leaks.
Yeah, and they're all right here.
Puedes llamar a Emilio.
No, abuela, please.
Huh.
She wants to call my Uncle Emilio, who's a plumber. I told her we'd get this done in no time. There. That should do it.
I'll turn on the main again.
Okay, cross your fingers.
There's no possible way that that could be tighter. And let's just put a towel here just in case.
Is it on yet?
Just above.
You could harness the power of that stream. Think of all the electricity you could make. This is the southwestern desert. There's little water, no houses, few people. Until we get here. Las Vegas, a city that's got it all. Lights, people, air conditioning, noise, water. All this in the desert. How can this be? How do they get the water to keep the city going? It takes electricity to keep the lights flashing. Where does it come from? About 40 miles from Las Vegas, I find the answer. Hoover Dam. The dam holds back the Colorado River and forms Lake Mead. The water for Las Vegas comes from this lake. The Hoover Dam does more. It uses water power to make electric power. The pressure of 726 feet of water is used to turn the blades of a turbine, producing electricity. Here's how it works. The river flows to the ocean, moved along by the force of gravity. When a dam is built in the river channel, the water backs up behind it. If water is released near the top of the dam, it'll be pushed out by the force of the water above it. If water is released further down along the dam wall, the greater pressure of the water above it makes the water push forward with more force. The further down the dam wall, the greater the pressure and the greater the force. To make electricity, water is released through an opening near the bottom of the dam. A turbine is placed so that the water's force turns the turbine. The turbine is joined to a generator
where the water's energy is converted to electrical energy. By increasing the water flow, you increase the force on the turbine and get more electricity. This electricity is carried through wires to light our buildings and run our television sets. So what makes Las Vegas go? Hoover Dam, that's what.
Well, I better get started cleaning up this mess.
Yep, guess you better. You did a good job, Miguel.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, water sure has a way of tossing things around, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, if it can pulverize rock and turn it into sand, just think what it could do to this basement.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to what my parents are gonna do to me if I don't get this basement clean.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me?
Hey, and you know what? The Grand Canyon, gosh, it's just a gash carved by water over millions of years out of rock.
You guys are cruel, you know that? You really are.
We just think you're cute, Miguel. Come on. I'll help you. Give it here. Here.
Gosh, Smith.
These mountains were made by an ocean. Moving water pulled by gravity is a force constantly shaping the land. Glaciers melt into moving water that grinds rocks into pebbles and carves mountains and canyons. Dripping rain and running rivers leave new forms behind.
Pilot Ken Bauer has promised me the ride of a lifetime. Our destination, the Grand Canyon.
You know, I always wanted to fly in a helicopter, and now I'm flying right down into the Grand Canyon.
While I fly through the canyon, my friend Jackie explores it with environmentalist Carolyn Evans.
Now this is 10 miles from here to the other side.
Isn't that neat?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's okay, you can come out.
How far up are we?
We're a mile up.
A
Yeah, vertical mile above the river.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Colorado River did all this.
Sure did. You can see it right down there. It's really way down there.
Very muddy.
Yeah, and it doesn't look very wide either, but
No.
it's as wide as a football field is long.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it the canyon so wide at one point, and then by the river it seems to be coming to a V?
Well, actually, the river didn't carve the width of the canyon. What's carved the width of the canyon has been erosion and water running off the sides, off the rocks, and carrying rocks and mud and dirt all down to the river. So the
I
river's
see.
not really responsible for carving the width of the canyon, just the depth.
Actually, the river probably only cut a canyon in here probably as wide as this inner gorge. As you got up above that, most of the limestone was eroded back by wind and rain to cause that big wide width.
We think that the river has only been here for the last about 2 to 6 million years. So the river is really very young compared to the rock that we're standing on.
Now you said the ocean. There was an ocean covering all this?
Yeah, as a
At
matter
one
of
time?
fact, there were several oceans that covered this area.
Several. How many?
We think there were 7 oceans.
But this also was a desert.
And there was a time when this area was a desert, too. A lot of different environments have been here in Earth's time, in the past, in Earth's history.
The Grand Canyon, carved through layers of rock billions of years old. The land went through many changes. Oceans covered it. Lava flowed over it. Pressure and heat pushed the rock up. Water eroded the land, cutting it down. Many layers were formed, one over another, over billions of years. This process was repeated over and over and over. About 6 million years ago, only yesterday in Earth's long history, the Colorado River began to cut a path for itself. The river cut deeper and deeper into the land. Now, the Grand Canyon is a mile deep, and the water is still at work.
Down there, we're looking at Granite Gorge, and the rock down there is mostly granite. And you can see the difference in the layering of the rock. And the layered rock up here is a sedimentary rock that was formed by sediments as they deposited over millions of years.
And there's just so many different types of rocks, you know?
That's right. This rock that we're looking at out here is called, it's an ancient marine limestone. The rock was actually below the bottom of the ocean for over 1 billion years, where it was formed by mud settling to the bottom of the sea and the little sea creatures dying.
Oh, wow!
Basically, there's 3 different kinds of rock that they're made out of. There's limestones, mudstones, and sandstones. And sandstones are made out of sand, the mudstones are made from mud, and the limestones are made out of seashells. And they're all over. If you just start looking, you'll just see them everywhere.
How about this one?
Yeah, there's one right there, too.
Wow, they're all over here then, huh?
Yeah. Well, geologists tell us that these shells and all the shells in this layer are 200 million years old. As you look around, you can find all kinds of different fossils, and there are different fossils in other layers, too.
It must have taken a long time for the water to erode all this rock.
Yeah, that's right, it did. It took millions of years for that to happen. Actually, that process is still continuing today, and the Colorado River is cutting through the Grand Canyon at the rate of about 1,000 feet every million years now.
And there's still some erosion going on there.
Yes, that's right. It's still happening now.
And if you go down to the bottom of the canyon, you can really see how the river has scoured out rocks and smoothed them down. It's just like sandpaper.
Would you like to do something really exciting?
Yeah, what?
Okay, we're gonna drop down here into the bottom of Granite Gorge.
Oh, no.
And I'm gonna give you a look at the bottom of the canyon, just above the river.
Okay, okay.
Here we go. The farther we go down into the canyon, the farther back that we go into time. Now we're dropping way down in time here. We're almost 2 billion years back in the Earth's history as we drop down into here. We're going to skim just right over the water down through the bottom of Granite Gorge here.
Okay.
Very few people get to see it from this angle.
It really does feel like a magic carpet.
When you get close to the water, you can see the river's power. The water is muddy because it is filled with soil that has eroded from the sides, as well as earth that the river's force has dredged from the bottom.
is still hard at work, just as it has been for millions of years. Water is carving the land.
Pure and natural as summer sunlight, cool as a mountain stream. You can pour a glass whenever you want it. No calories, no caffeine. When you're hot and when you're thirsty and your throat is dry, reach for the refreshment that comes to you from the sky.
Whenever there's trouble, we're there on the double. We're the Bloodhound Gang. If you've got the crime, we've got the time. We're the Bloodhound Gang.
Important computer tapes have been stolen from the Twins Research Foundation. Its president, John Frisbee, himself an identical twin, is ready to pay the ransom, but Police Lieutenant Smollett asks the gang for help. The money, wrapped in plastic, must be dropped into a trash barrel in the park by a child.
Looks like I'm elected.
It's freezing in the park the next morning. From their lookout spot, Ricardo photographs a strange woman dumping water into the trash barrel. At exactly 8 o'clock, Skip drops the money. Later, a garbage truck empties the barrel, and Smollett radios headquarters to tail the truck.
Here it is. That high-speed film takes pretty good shots.
Well, about all we can tell is that she's tall and kind of thin.
That muffler just about covers her face.
The muffler.
What are you doing?
Trying something. I think she's left-handed. Look, I wrap my muffler this way, clockwise, because I'm left-handed.
Hers is wrapped the same way, clockwise.
Bloodhound Detective Agency, whenever there's trouble, we're there on the double. Oh, hello, Lieutenant Smollett. Gee. But how? Well, thanks for letting us know. The sanitation truck that picked up the trash? The driver's in the clear. But get this. The police went through every scrap of trash, and the ransom money wasn't there.
But that can't be. The barrel was emptied into the truck. I saw it.
Can I see the pictures?
Well, there must have been something we didn't see. Something we missed.
If it was that lady, she planned everything carefully. Wouldn't she know the sanitation truck was due?
You're right. Sure. That's how she drew the police away from the spot. She knew they would follow the sanitation truck. Once the coast was clear, she could return for the money.
You mean she rigged the barrel so the money wouldn't fall out? Glue.
What is she doing with these water jugs?
Of course, that's it. Water. She knew there was going to be a freeze. Skip drops in the money, and it freezes to the bottom of the can.
Yeah, maybe it's still there.
Let's go. It's not here. It's gone. Excuse me, sir. Did you see a trash can there?
Funny you should ask.
Not so funny, sir. We're from the Bloodhound Detective Agency.
Someone stole it. Bold as brass.
How long ago?
Maybe half an hour.
Is this her?
Yeah.
Didn't you try and stop her?
I gave a yell, but she burned rubber getting out of here. You'd think she was robbing a bank. A crazy.
She had a car?
A van.
Did you get the license?
No, but I'll tell you this. That lady was no lady.
What do you mean?
Van door was jammed. Cussed it and gave a yank.
You heard her voice.
Her? Huh. It was a man.
A man?
That puts us back to square one.
Bruno's. Did you drive this, sir?
That restaurant? No, I can't afford to eat there.
Do you know where it is?
Other side of the park in the Mayhew Hotel. Hey, is all this important?
Funny you should ask. Thanks, sir. Bruno's, let's check it out.
Whenever there's trouble, we're there on the double with the Bloodhound Gang.
Miguelito, todavía no hay agua.
Todavía?
What's wrong now?
My grandmother still can't take a shower. There's no water upstairs.
Are you sure? What do you mean no water upstairs? I got it. When we turned off the valves, we forgot to turn back on the valve to that pipe that takes the water upstairs.
What a relief. For a second there, I thought we were in real trouble.
I got it. No, but... I can't believe it! Oh, no! I think you better get out your way. Get out of
here. 321 Contact is a production of the Children's Television Workshop.